Hi friends, today we are discussing the sections 6 and 7. Our first section is Introduction of New Variable. In this section, we are discussing about what a change is done when we introduce a new variable to an already solved LPP. Suppose we have an LPP minimize f of x is equal to cx subject to constraints ax equal to b x greater than or equal to 0. We found the solution of the LPP. After find this optimal solution, suppose we need to introduce a new variable to this LPP. Here the objective function f of x is equal to cx means c1 x plus c2 x2 plus etc. plus cn xn. Here we introduce a new variable xn plus k to this LPP where k equal to 1, 2, 3 etc. which means xn plus 1, xn plus 2 etc. and their coefficients be ai n plus k where I equal to 1, 2, 3 etc. m. That is the matrix coefficients become a1 n plus k, a2 n plus k etc. and cn plus k. Cn plus k is a cost coefficients corresponding to a new variable xn plus k. Since the number of constraints remains the same, the number of basic variables also remains the same, and so the original optimal solution gives a basic feasible solution of the new problem. That is, when we add a new variable, then the number of constraints remains same and the basic variables also same. So the basic feasible solution is the original optimal solution. The relative cost coefficients corresponding to the newly introduced cost coefficients xn plus k can be obtained from the equation cn plus k bar equal to cn plus k plus summation I equal to 1 to m ai n plus k pi I. Here cn plus k bar is the relative cost coefficients and cn plus k are the cost coefficients. Pi i's are simplex multipliers, and the simplex multipliers pi i's can be obtained from pi dash equal to minus c naught a naught inverse. Here if all the values of cn plus k bar are non-negative, that is the relative cost coefficients are non-negative, then the original optimal solution remains the optimal for the new problem. We already have the relative cost coefficients c1 bar, c2 bar etc. cn bar, which is greater than or equal to 0 because our original solution is optimal. So when we introduce a new variable xn plus 1, xn plus 2, etc., then the corresponding cost coefficients are cn plus 1, cn plus 2, cn plus 2, etc. Then the corresponding relative cost coefficients are cn plus 1 bar, cn plus 2 bar, etc. Then these each relative cost coefficients are greater than or equal to 0, then the solution is optimal. If not, then from this point onwards, iteration may be done to obtain the new optimal solution. That is, each relative coefficients or one relative cost coefficients are less than or equal to 0, then the solution is not optimal. Then that time we apply the iterations and we obtain the new optimal solution. That is, the relative cost coefficients are non-negative, then the original optimal solution remains optimal for the new problem. And the otherwise, that is, the relative cost coefficients are less than or equal to 0, then we apply the iterations to obtain a new optimal solutions. Next, an example. Consider the problem. Minimize f of x equal to 4x1 plus 5x2 subject to constraints 2x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 6, x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal to 5, x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to 1, x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 2, x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0. This problem is already solved in our previous classes. So the simplex table, the optimal simplex table is here. From this optimal simplex table, we find that x naught equal to x1, x2, x3, x4, which is equal to 2 by 3, 1 by 3, 13 by 3, 11 by 3. That is, x1 equal to 2 by 3, x2 equal to 1 by 3, x3 equal to 13 by 3, x4 equal to 11 by 3. So these are the optimal solutions, and the feasible solution is 13 by 3. Also, from the original problem, we got c naught equal to 4500. This value is get from the objective function f of x equal to 4x1 plus 5x2 and b equal to 6512. It is get from the constraints. And since optimum basic variables are x1, x2, x3, x4, a naught is the corresponding columns in the starting table. Here a naught equal to 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 4, 0, 0. It is get from the starting table. And next we find the a naught inverse. We know how to find a naught inverse. We discussed in our previous classes. So a naught inverse is get from the starting table and the optimal simplex table. Then multiplying these, we get a naught inverse equal to 0, 0, 4 by 3 minus 1 by 3, 0, 0, minus 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1, 0, minus 7 by 3, 1 by 3, 0, 1, minus 2 by 3, minus 1 by 3. Suppose we introduce a new variable x7 such that c7, that is cost coefficient, is 2 and the corresponding matrix coefficients a1 7 equal to 1, a2 7 equal to minus 1, A37 equal to minus 3, A47 equal to 3. These are the corresponding matrix coefficient to the new variable x7. Then the simplex multipliers are given by pi dash equal to minus C naught A naught inverse. We have C naught equal to 4500. So minus C naught equal to minus 4 minus 500, and we have A naught inverse equal to 0 0 4 by 3 minus 1 by 3 0 0 minus 1 by 3 1 by 3 1 0 minus 7 by 3 1 by 3 0 1 minus 2 by 3 minus 1 by 3. So we multiply minus C naught and A naught inverse. We get simplex multipliers pi dash equal to 0 0 minus 11 by 3 minus 1 by 3. Here pi 1 is 0 and pi 2 is 0. Pi 3 is minus 11 by 3. Pi 4 equal to minus 1 by 3. Substitute the values in equation 1. Equation 1 is relative cost coefficient Cn plus k bar equal to Cn plus k plus sigma equal to 1 to m ai n plus k pi I. Here m is 4. So relative cost coefficient C7 bar equal to C7 plus sigma I equal to 1 to 4 ai 7 pi I. So substitute the values, the cost coefficients, and substitute the values of matrix coefficient, which is equal to C7 plus A17 pi 1 plus A27 pi 2 plus A37 pi 3 plus A47 pi 4. Substitute the values, we get 2 plus 1 into 0 plus minus 1 into 0 plus minus 3 into minus 11 by 3 plus 3 into minus 1 by 3. Solving this, we get 2 plus 11 minus 1 equal to 12, which is greater than 0. So we find the relative cost coefficient C7 bar, which is 12. So it is greater than 0. Therefore the original optimal solution is still optimal, and the optimal value of the objective function remains unchanged, because we get the relative cost coefficient is greater than or equal to 0. So the solution is remain optimal. Suppose we introduce a new variable x7 with the coefficient C7 equal to 2, and the matrix coefficient A17 equal to 1, A27 equal to minus 1, A37 equal to 3, A47 equal to 3. Then we find the we want to find the relative cost coefficient C7 bar. It is found using the equation C7 bar equal to C7 plus sigma equal to 1 to 4 I ai 7 pi I. So substitute the values of coefficient. We get C7 bar equal to 2 plus 1 into 0 plus minus 1 into 0 plus 3 into minus 11 by 3 plus 3 into minus 1 by 3. In solving these, we get minus 10. That is the relative cost coefficient of C7 bar equal to minus 10. It is a negative value. So the new problem is not optimal, because we get a negative value. So we need a further iteration to get the new optimal solution. So we want to create a new tuple. The starting tuple for this new problem will be as the original optimal solution with an additional column P7, in which C7 bar equal to minus 10. And the corresponding matrix coefficients are A17 bar, A27 bar, A37 bar, A47 bar. which are the matrix coefficient corresponding to new column P7, and which is equal to A naught inverse A17, A27, A37, A47. Here A17 equal to 1, A27 equal to -1, A37 equal to 3, and A47 equal to 3. Substitute the values of matrix coefficient and multiply with A inverse. We get 3, 0, -5, -4, which is our new column P7. Therefore, starting table for new problem is here. Up to P6, it is our optimal table. To this table, we add a new column P7 corresponding to X7, then the coefficients are 3, 0, -5, -4. This column is get from here 3, 0, -5, -4. Here the solution is not optimal because in the column P7 the corresponding relative cost coefficient is -10. That is, it is negative value, so it is not optimal. So X7 is an incoming variable, and when we find the ratio of non-zero value 2/9, then X1 is an outgoing variable. So here X7 is an incoming variable and X1 is an outgoing variable. By using again we have done with the simplex table, X7 is came instead of X1. X7 is an incoming variable and X1 is an outgoing variable, so we write X7 instead of X1. Then we apply the same method. X5 is an incoming variable. Then here we apply the same method. Then here we get X5 is an incoming variable and the least ratio is 1. So the outgoing variable is X2. Then here we get a negative value, so the solution is not optimal. So then in next iteration we get all the cost coefficients are greater than 0, so the solution is optimal. So in the first table the solution is not optimal, and then we apply the iteration, then we get another table, and here it is also not optimal. Then we apply the another iteration, then the final we got an optimal solution, and that is all the relative cost coefficients are positive. So all Cj greater than or equal to 0, the solution is optimal, and optimal solution is X1 equal to 1, X2 equal to 0, X3 equal to 16/3, X4 equal to 17/3, X5 equal to 1, X6 equal to 0, X7 equal to 2/3, and the objective function is 4/3. The solution is getting from here X1 equal to 0, X2 equal to 0, and X3 equal to 16/3, and X4 equal to 17/3, X5 equal to 1, X7 equal to 2/3, and the objective function f equal to 4/3. Next we move on to the section 7, introduction of new constraints. Suppose we have an LPP minimize f of x equal to cx subject to constraints ax equal to b, x greater than or equal to 0. This LPP have an optimal solution. Let it be x naught. In this section, we discuss about what a change is done in x naught when we introduce a new constraint to the set of constraints ax equal to b. If k is the set of feasible solutions of the original problem and k dash is the set of feasible solution of the modified problem obtained by introducing new constraints, then k dash is a subset or equal to k. Here k is the set of feasible solution of the original problem and k dash is the set of feasible solution of the modified problem. Then k dash is subset or equal to k because k dash have more constraints, so k dash has the least number of solutions. Therefore k dash is a subset or equal to k. If the original optimal solution the original optimal solution x naught satisfies the new constraints, then x naught is in k dash, and since f of x naught is minimum in k, it is also minimum in k dash. In this case, the original optimal solution continues to be optimal. If the original optimal solution x naught satisfies the new constraints, then x naught is in k dash. Then the modified problem is also optimal. If some or all the new constraints are violated by x naught, then the problem has to be solved further by taking into the consideration of new constraints. If we introduce a new constraints, then this we got the solution is not optimal. That is, new constraints are violated by x naught. Then the problem is solved by taking the consideration of new constraints. We add more constraints to get the solution is optimal. Each new constraints in the form of an inequality gives rise to a slack variable and if necessary an artificial variable. So each new constraints in the form of an inequality, then we added the slack variables and if necessary we add the artificial variables. For a constraints in the form of an equality, an artificial variable may be introduced. The problem may be now solved by two-phase method or bigger method. For a constraints in the form of equality, then artificial variables may be introduced. Then that time the problem is solved by using the two-phase method or bigger method. If all the constraints are inequalities, in this case the problem may also be solved by dual simplex method without introducing artificial variables. Next consider the example. Minimize f of x equal to 4x1 plus 5x2 subject to constraints to x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 6, x1 plus 2x2 less than or equal to 5, x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to 1, x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to 2, and x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0. This problem is already solved. Then the optimal table is here. From this table we find that x naught equal to x1, x2, x3, x4 which is equal to 2 by 3, 1 by 3, 13 by 3 and 11 by 3, and f equal to 13 by 3. Suppose we introduce a new constraint. Our new constraint is 3x1 minus 2x2 less than or equal to 2. This gives an equation 1. Here substitute the value of x1 and x2 to this constraint. Here x1 equal to 2 by 3 and x2 equal to 1 by 3. Then substitute the values of x1 and x2. Then 3 into 2 by 3 minus 2 into 1 by 3 equal to 4 by 3, which is less than or equal to 2. Clearly, the original optimal solution satisfies the new constraints. 3x1 minus 2x2 less than or equal to 2. So the original optimal solution remains unchanged for the new problem because it satisfies the original optimal solution. Suppose we introduce a new constraints 3x1 minus 2x2 greater than or equal to 2. First we introduce a constraints then that time which is less than or equal to 2. Then we introduce a new constraint 3x1 minus 2x2 greater than or equal to 2. Clearly this constraint is violated by the original optimal solution because we find that 3x1 minus 2x2 equal to 4 by 3, which is less than or equal to 2. So it is violated by the original optimal solution. So the original optimal solution will not be an optimal solution of the new problem. So introducing a slack variable to our constraint 3x1 minus 2x2 greater than or equal to 2, we get 3x1 minus 2x2 minus x7 equal to 2. This gives an equation 3. Eliminating the basic variables x1 and x2 from the equation 3 by using the first and second equation in the optimal table. From this table we get x1 plus minus 4 by 3 x5 plus 1 by 3 x6 equal to 2 by 3. So from this we get x1 equal to 2 by 3 minus 4 by 3 2 by 3 plus 4 by 3 x5 minus 1 by 3 x6. Substitute the value of x1 here, that is 2 by 3 plus 4 by 3 x5 minus 1 by 3 x6, and similarly we get the value of x2 in this table. x2 plus 1 by 3 x5 minus 1 by 3 x6 equal to 1 by 3, which is got from here, and from this we find the value of x2. So x2 equal to 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 x5 plus 1 by 3 x6. Substitute the value of x2. So then the equation 3 becomes 3 into 2 by 3 4 by 3 x5 minus 1 by 3 x6 minus 2 into 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 x5 plus 1 by 3 x6 minus x7, which is equal to 2. Then solving these we get minus 14 by 3 x5 plus 5 by 3 x6 plus x7 equal to minus 2 by 3. Then the iteration is given in the table. In this table, up to x4 we already have. Then we add x7. The coefficients is getting from here. Here x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0, x3 equal to 0, and x4 equal to 0, and the coefficient of x5 is minus 14 by 3, and x6, the coefficient of x6 is 5 by 3, and the coefficient of x7 is 1, and the constant is minus 2 by 3. So we get x7. The value of b is negative for x7. We can apply the dual simplex method. So here x7 is the outgoing variable. We find the ratio. We get 11 by 3 divided by minus 14 by 3 is minus 11 by 4, minus 11 by 14. So the corresponding variable of this column is x5. So x5 is the incoming variable. Therefore x7 is an outgoing variable and x5 is an incoming variable. So the next table of iteration will be like this. Here all the bi's are greater than 0, that is non-negative. So here the solution is optimal. All bi greater than or equal to 0, the solution is optimal, and the optimal solution is x1 equal to 6 by 7, x2 equal to 2 by 7, and f equal to 34 by 7.